Hello, and today we are doing a Euro Fantasy preview for match day number 4, also known as the round of 16 knockout fixtures. And that's right, let's see if a team can provide a knockout blow and get some big points for my team. That is team name Control Alt Delete from Netherlands, of course. He hasn't played all the games, but we haven't had him in the team because he hasn't been a good source of points. But we have got points elsewhere. And of course, we are hoping for more points this week. We had a pretty underwhelming match day 3 on 50 points. So, with our current rank of 87,800 and something, I think. 87,585. Not bad, but it is a bit dodgy. So, considering we were looking good, we need to be doing better in this round of 16. So, obviously, because of that, they've given us unlimited transfers because, teams have got knocked out. You had to, really get the team sorted out and start from a fresh blank slate. But we've gone for it and we've made a saucy little team that I think, is good enough to do us pretty well going forward as well. What we've done in this strategy of choosing players is we've gone for the players from the teams that we think will win in the round of 16. Talking of which, I will try and get my round of 16 knockout stage predictions out there for you to watch, because of course they're different predictions to what I did at the start of the tournament with my group game, individual score predictions, because of course there are different games now that have been scheduled. So we'll try and get that video out to you as well. And maybe we'll get into a nice little video reacting to my Euro 2020 group stage predictions and seeing how we got on there. But we'll try and see what we can do, basically. We'll try and do a little video of that. And also, don't forget that Fantasy Premier League has now been launched. So, if you want to watch football content, then make sure you check out Roberto the Hornet. But if you want to watch purely Fantasy Premier League game, then obviously that's going to be exciting next season. As a representative of FPL Juice on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, I will be the official juicer for Watford FC, providing great tips, great insight on players who could be options, which kind of transfers can come in and get some points. Emmanuel Dennis could be decent. Ismail Assar we know is amazing. Adam Messina, Danny Rose, they're all great attacking options. But we'll talk way more about that. And at some point in the next few weeks, I'll try and get my first FPL video out on that channel. But spread the word. It's called FPL Yellow Army, all capitals, on YouTube. And we need to basically get the subs up because we've decided to start from fresh and work our way up. So I'll try and do some graphics for the FPL season coming up. That will be really exciting. Obviously, it is time dependent on my work, but we'll see what we can do there. And yeah, make sure you do subscribe to that and get excited. Turn the notification bell on before fantasy starts getting back in the conversation, really. But in terms of this video today, we are going to look at the other side of fantasy right now, which is Euro Fantasy from UEFA 2020 Euros. So it is very interesting, of course, my team going into this week, because we need a big week, and I think we could just do it. We're on 184 points right now, and let's talk through the team, talk through why I've brought in these players, and also talk through the players going for them for each of the clubs that I think will win in these games. So let's start off with the bench, and in goalkeeping position for the bench, we've got Martin Stecklenburg. Now, Stecklenburg did absolute bits for me in the North Macedonia game. It's what we wanted, a clean sheet. He did the job. And to be fair, it is, pretty consistent Netherlands, that defence. It was a bit of a worry whether he'd play, but then, of course, Tim Krul was kind of just, dismissed of getting a start. And he's played all the games. Unfortunate against Ukraine, Yarmolenko was fantastic. But other than that, Netherlands have looked solid. And Czech Republic, is there a chance of a clean sheet there? Quite possibly. They do, of course, play against the Czech Republic on the 27th at 5 o'clock. So that's a winnable game for Netherlands. And I think one of the best teams to face up against for a chance of a clean sheet. So, he's done very little wrong so far. 5 saves and only 2 goals conceded. So let's hope the points can keep coming for Martin Stecklenburg. And, at 4.7, I just feel like he's a bargain. He's a bit of a differential pick, and, he gets points. He absolutely mugged off the North Macedonia player in the last game with the Cruyff turn, and he slipped over. But no, realistically, we want what it says on the tin with Stecklenburg, and that is a clean sheet, hopefully, if he can keep out the likes of Patrick Schick. But the first player on our bench is the wonder kid, Pedri. Now, Spanish player, of course. I think that game is going to be tight with Croatia, and I think that Netherlands will beat Czech Republic, hence we've gone with Stecklenburg. I also think, though, that Spain will beat Croatia, and that Spain team, alright, they've had a lot of problems in terms of converting goals, but the way they played against Slovakia, they were clinical, and I think Pedri still hasn't, massively gone and, shown himself to be a world beater so far, but I think he's gone under the radar. He's still very good technical player, and yeah, alright, he might have not done anything so far, but who's to say he can't do it here? And he's only a sub player, so if we want to bring him on the 28th of June, then we can do. But it's an interesting game. I think Spain will win it, and I think Pedri could be an important little player for them. Second up on our bench, we've got another man who plays quite late in the match day, and also he's up against a decent attack, and that is Robin Gosens. Now, Robin Gosens was absolutely beautiful in his points kind of collection in the Portugal game. But of course, we didn't have him back then. We brought him in for the Hungary game because why wouldn't you? But no, of course, he gets 1 point. So yeah, he's a bit up and down this Euro Fantasy. 14 1 week and then 1 point the next against Hungary. So yeah, hopefully he can provide some more attacking returns. He's so advanced in that position, and England will probably struggle to keep him quiet in this game. But again, like I said, he plays quite late on in the 29th of June, so we can always sub him on if we think he's going to get attacking returns. But at 5.2, absolute bargain. He's got that threat going forward, and I think that if England do carry on their struggles of not scoring goals, just 2 so far in 3 matches, then it could be a chance for some points for Gosens as a defender. But the final player on our bench is Emil Forsberg, and this guy I could easily sub in if we feel like we need it. And certainly with a captaincy contender, definitely. I'll go through in a little bit what I'm thinking with captaincy and how I've kind of planned out my team to have good captains on each day of the match day. But Emil Forsberg is a fantastic, player for Sweden. He's their talisman. I think Sweden will beat Ukraine, I would imagine. I also think Germany might beat England, so we've gone with Gosens. But with Forsberg, he's so good for them. He's so attacking, and 2 goals in the last game. All right, you can say it's a bit knee-jerk, but I don't think it is. He's ticked along nicely, and he got himself a lovely little 8-pointer in the second game with the penalty that he puts away. So, the fact he's on those duties is going to get us more chances of goals, and I think Ukraine defensively are quite suspect. If they don't have Yarmolenko getting the goals and Yaremchuk, then they are struggling for points. So Forsberg could have a decent shout of a good haul there. Now let's move into the starting 11. We've gone for a 4-3-3 formation, which I think is pretty solid. In goal, Donnarumma. He's the man that I reckon will go on to win the Golden Glove. He's been so solid. A fantastic display, I thought, in the matchup against, was it Austria or Wales? I can't remember. No, I think it was Wales, but he made like a few amazing double saves, and he just gets so many clean sheets. It is unbelievable for a man of his age. He's matured so quickly, and he's just so confident with his reflexes. So it's a game against Austria that really is a good chance of a clean sheet for Gianluigi. So I have to have him in between the sticks. And, all right, he might be a bit costly, but I think it's worth every penny at 5.6 million. He's got so consistent in this tournament, and I think he could carry it on, hopefully get some additional save points in the game. Then in the defence, we've got Spinazzola as our first defender. Now, there's no reason really to justify it. The reason is he's amazing. He is absolutely fantastic going forward. And of course, he got the rest in the last game versus Wales, but so did a lot of Italy players. Now, the fact is he's so attacking, and he plays Austria, who, are a good team, but sometimes they can be open defensively. I don't want that to be a battering for Austria because, we've got to still support Daniel Bachmann. And likewise with Sweden, if they play Ukraine and win, I'll be loving it for Ken Sema. But it's an absolute crime that Sema's not played so far. So get him on the pitch. He'll make things happen. But in terms of Daniel Backman, he's going to struggle up against this Italy team, and Spinazzola does offer so much going forward, as well as defensively very wise in his defensive work. So he's just the perfect FPL option, really. Kimpembe is the next one. Now, France, for me, have been a bit nervy. They've been a bit, cagey at times. Against Portugal, they showed flashes of brilliance. Benzema was on his game. But against Hungary, they were poor. Against Germany, they were all right. And Mbappe was brilliant, but they didn't, light the world on fire. So there is a bit of a worry with France right now. But a lot of people backing them to go all the way. They've got a very good squad to do that. They're world champions right now. But they've got one of the best, I think, draws of the round of 16, and that is Switzerland. Now, Switzerland did do well to get through, finishing third, and Shaqiri is always good on his day, so you never know with them. But I think that France have got a better enough, chance of a clean sheet against all the other teams in the round of 16. Switzerland, I think, will struggle to get past, the rocks of Varane and Kimpembe. And we've gone with Kimpembe mainly because he's cheaper than Varane. We couldn't afford him. And I think Kimpembe, he's not got as much goal threat as Varane or even as much assist potential as someone like Benjamin Pavard. But it just makes sense because he's going to play Kimpembe, and they've been rotating recently, the fullbacks, quite a bit. So let's see what can happen here. But maybe a set-piece goal. Then we've got Joachim Maieli, and what a player he's been for Denmark. What a great story it's been for Denmark. They had to mentally fight back the atrocity and the, so tragic moment of Christian Eriksen. But the fact is, they did so well against Russia. They were fantastic in their performance, and they scored 4 goals. And Maieli is an absolute gem because he's an out-of-position defender. In the game, he's a defender, but he's really more of a winger, really. So it is perfect for points. He got a goal against Denmark. No, sorry, that would be quite hard. Against Wales is what I'm hoping for, but no, he got one against Russia, and he's just so attacking, and why not? It makes sense. Wales obviously will go for it, and I feel for Wales, with them not having any fans at that game, that seems criminal. But Wales will make it, a tough one. But I think Denmark are just that better team that can get through, and Maieli probably a chance of a clean sheet there. If Gareth Bale is off, his day on one of them. Now we move on to Denzel Dumfries. Now this guy's been the absolute legend of this whole tournament so far. What an absolute, I love it. I absolutely love it. 2 goals in the first 2 games. All right, we didn't own him for both of those matches, but we at least owned him for the 14-pointer, and it was brilliant. But then he got taken off against North Macedonia, and you kind of take it on the chin because of how well he'd done before that. And it was mainly just because of rotation. They just wanted to bring on someone else. He's so highly owned, Denzel Dumfries. It is ridiculous. 36%. So basically, if you don't own him and he gets another attacking return, you're pretty much in the mud. And we just can't go without him. He is essential at this point. And Czech Republic, as I mentioned with Stekelenburg, is quite a good fixture for a clean sheet. But of course, Dumfries is so attacking. He gets forward so much. So we could get some points there from the attacking side of things. Whilst we're on the subject... Sorry. Apologies for this disturbance. Right. Back to where I was talking about. Talking of North Macedonia, Netherlands. Talking of that, Wijnaldum, he played for them, and he's got a great fixture also against Czech Republic. It is a bit of a shame we didn't have Wijnaldum in the last match day because he scored 2 goals. And of course, the previous match day, we captained him and he did nothing. We had him at least in the first match day, though, and he did absolute bits against Ukraine. But let's hope he can get the hat-trick this time when we've actually got him in the team. And he is so attacking for Netherlands. He's got a different position that he plays for that team compared to when he's at Liverpool, and now that he's moving on to Paris Saint-Germain. He'll want to impress the manager, Mauricio Pochettino, and I think that Netherlands team are going to have a few good moments against Czech Republic. I thought about Memphis Depay, I did, but I think Depay's been a bit lucky with some of his goals he scored this season, in this Euros, and Wijnaldum I feel like is a bit more, the forefront of that Netherlands team. I know that Depay plays up front, but I feel Depay has, a lot of confidence issues, and they still do rotate with Weghorst and Marlon. Whereas Wijnaldum, I think, is a mainstay in that team, and he's the captain. He's going to lead them forward. So let's hope for some more points here from Genie. Then we've got Kevin De Bruyne. and it's against my own team, Portugal. Now, I'll admit, this is not ideal because I do feel like Belgium might win. That's why we've gone with him. So it is unfortunate. I would have gone with a Portuguese player, but I haven't got confidence we're going to win that game. Belgium are the golden generation. Whether they will, actually get the job done in the game is another question. But, De Bruyne is so class. There's no doubting it. Player of the season or PFA player of the Premier League last season, which seemed a bit criminal, really, when you had so many other better players. And he had a lot of the season out with injury. But he has been a fantastic addition for Belgium so far. He's come off the bench against Denmark and scored an absolute beauty. Got an absolutely wonderful assist. And, of course, in the game against Finland, got an assist there. So De Bruyne is so attacking, and he's such a key man for Belgium. And, all right, Portugal will make it tough. Ruben Diaz up against his teammate, Kevin De Bruyne. But I think that De Bruyne is the sort of player that can cut us open, like we saw against Germany. And I would own someone like Bernardo Silva, but I don't know. I just feel like Belgium will advance. Unfortunately, I hope I'm proven wrong. And for fantasy reasons, I don't care if I have a Belgian player in the next round because we've got free transfers to make anyway. But De Bruyne is just so good. Next up, we have Domenico Berardi, also playing against Austria, another great fixture. And Berardi's just been so good this tournament. He's great at driving at opponents, really getting to the byline and putting in crosses. And Austria, I think, will get a bit of a battering in this game. So, yeah, Berardi is the man for me. Should we captain him? I'm very tempted, to be honest. But we'll make a decision on that. Domenico, though, he is a player who goes under the radar. I actually said at the start of the tournament that I think he'd be the player to watch as a breakout season. And look what he's done. He's been amazing. So, And I also said Ronaldo to be top scorer. And he currently is. So it is what we do. But we don't have Ronaldo in the team. Instead, up front, we've got Karim Benzema, who looked really good against Portugal. I know that he didn't score before that, but he's got so much goal threat. And against Switzerland, surely they do something there. We've also got another France forward. You think, how can I afford this? Well, we always find a way. It's Antoine Griezmann. Now, I think having both France forwards against Switzerland is going to be great because, if one doesn't score, surely the other does. And they're so good at linking up those two. So I think it's decent. And Switzerland are quite defensively suspect. Even though Jan Sommer makes a few good saves from time to time, France are attackingly very, very impressive. Then up front, our final player is Ciro Immobile. And he's the captain right now. I've released it. I've leaked it. He is the captain against Austria. And the reason for that is I feel like Immobile is the sort of player who he will get involved in chances. He will miss chances. But on the end of the day, he always finds a way to score. He's got an eye for goal more than Domenico Berardi, I'd say. I know with Berardi you can get extra points for a goal and for a clean sheet. But Immobile is the sort of player who can get streaky returns and get, a couple in one game. So we're going to go for that. Let's hope it doesn't, fail us. And we have to go for an Italy player because we're not going to captain Maeli, really. So that is our lineup. It is pretty nice, I think. Griezmann, obviously, the current holder of the Euro Golden Boot. He's not been amazing so far, but got one goal against Hungary. Let's see if he can do a bit more than that. And likewise, his strike partner, Benzema. They're both very threatening going forward. And against Switzerland, why not? So that is my team locked in for match day 4, also known as the round of 16. It is the deadline this week of the 26th of June. 5 o'clock deadline, so get your transfers locked in, and of course substitutions will change throughout the match day and throughout each day of the weekend, but it will be a thrilling one. Make sure you catch every second of these Euros, and make sure that you watch my previous review of match day 3 that we did a few days ago. So yeah, really exciting stuff. Just to quickly touch on it, the captaincy, we've gone with Immobile, but day 2, we've got good options. Wijnaldum or De Bruyne. Day 3, Griezmann or Benzema. And finally, day 4, Gosens or even Emil Forsberg. So I think we've got some nice captaincy options there. And let's hope for a much better score this week. We haven't got more than 75 so far. So it's bold of me. But with this team, I think we're solid. We should be getting 83. No, that's way too specific. 85. That's a bit better. We're going to go with that. It's bold. I probably will get way less than that, but We've got to aim high. So thanks for watching. See you later.